Hello, my name is Joshua Morrison, an investment analyst here at True Potential. This week, we focus on two main stories emanating from the headlines. The first relates to Theresa May's announcement to resign as the UK's Prime Minister, while the second touches upon the latest from India's general election. On May the 24th, Theresa May, who had served as the UK's Prime Minister since July 2016, announced her resignation. This comes after months of negotiations with Europe to deliver a favourable Brexit. However, being unable to get her deal through Parliament, she is now stepping down on the 7th of June. The question then arises, who will replace her? To get a sense of the probabilities for May's successors, we utilise the average bookmaker's odds. It appears the three favourites are Boris Johnson, the former Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, the former Brexit Secretary, and finally Michael Gove, the Environmental Secretary. With a new leader entering our political landscape, the direction of Brexit can be shifted significantly. Each possible successor has differing ideologies about the eventual outcome. Boris Johnson is a keen advocate of a Canada-style Brexit and gets the support of many grassroots activists. Dominic Raab, on the other hand, is a committed Eurosceptic and one of the bigger critics of the backstop. He will attempt to reopen negotiations with the EU and will leave without a deal if pushed. Finally, Michael Gove, who, alongside Boris Johnson, campaigned to leave, is now convinced the UK must avoid a no-deal Brexit at all costs. All the candidates have stated their desire to complete Brexit process in their own way, yet they are firmly in agreement about not holding a second referendum. Until we get more clarity on the successor of Mrs May, it's impossible to determine accurately how Brexit will be handled. Yet in the meantime, there are still an array of possibilities on the horizon, which we can speculate on, such as another extension to Article 50, a successor successfully negotiating a more favourable deal with the EU, a second referendum, and finally a no-deal Brexit. Early in April, we flagged the start of India's mammoth general election. The election represents the largest in the world by population, with 900 million eligible voters. The vote elects parliamentary members to the Lok Sabha, or lower house. Winning 272 seats is required to gain a majority and take control. For the past 5 years, the Bharatiya Janata Party, led by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, had been the ruling party. Last week, the final votes were collated and tallied. The outcome handed Mr Modi a historic landslide victory and is a huge endorsement of him personally. Voter turnout exceeded 67% and secured the BJP 303 seats. The decision to re-elect the BJP is very significant for India's future. The markets have already responded very positively to Mr Modi's rhetoric, with India's main stock market, the Nifty 50, steeply rising on early election forecasts, culminating in a 6.16% rise over 4 days. Mr Modi has a further 5-year term to press on with his goal of building a new India. Within this paradigm, he's aiming to achieve high levels of economic growth, lower youth unemployment, controlling inflation, and delivering greater social security benefits. Thank you for watching.